Alright, so this is the crank puller tool that I've got. It even says the crank extractor on it, which is pretty cool. But the way this works is you insert it into here, right? And check out this grazing from where my chain came off, pretty rough. So you insert this and it's just righty-tighty as per usual. And then once that's all the way in, this isn't moving, you then thread this in, which is righty-tighty as well. And as you push that in, it will slowly push this off of that down there, which is the bottom bracket. So I can only go so far. This is tight now, so I'll now use a tool on this and get rid of it. So that's how quick and easy the crank puller works. And there you go, I've got my crank off. Pretty crazy crank. I mean, I bought the bike with this crank and that was like 15 years ago. So, you know, it's had a good innings. I find the cheaper stuff, the cheaper Shimano stuff actually lasts a really long time. So if you want something that lasts long for going, I don't know, doing some bike packing or something, just get the cheaper range stuff and it lasts a long time. You don't get as many gears, but yeah, it's really robust stuff. Pretty happy with this. Alright, so that is done, which is fantastic. Just getting a collection of all my stuff. Next thing I need to do is I need to use a tool to remove my square taper bottom bracket, and this is it here. It's pretty grotty looking, but I'll just tidy that up before I use it. Just like to keep things clean. And yeah, we'll take the square taper off. Here you can see the square taper, and I've taken the crank off both sides using the crank puller or crank removal tool. Now you can see this spline just fits in there, right? You can see the splines on that. So once I pop that in, I will then put a tool on that and release it. Now normally I just use a pair of vice grips, but I have to get out the old socket set to fit that tool in it and then use that. So see how that goes. Not gonna work. Alright, so what I've done is I got the breaker bar out and I let the bike over on an angle so that this tool wouldn't fall out. And sprayed some WD-40 in there and then put the breaker bar on. There you go. Now this tool keeps creeping out when I turn it, so it's easily damaged or stripped, so I'm just conscious of that. as well. See? Alright, so the drive side was so tight that I had to use this mallet, and I found my light shifter, it was on the boat. So I had to use a clamp to make sure the tool didn't come off, and then I put my adjustable on there, and then I had to hit down on the adjustable to actually get it to undo. Crazy.
So which way does it go? Pedal? Or does it matter?
Look at that.
These pedals are huge. One way, the pedals still behind. Only. Only. for me to never put my finger in a hole. Yet I am putting my finger in a hole.
I didn't ask you to do that.
Well, I'm rubbing it around.
I asked you to put it on the thread
Of the pedal?
Yeah. But that'll do, whether it doesn't matter which one it's on.
I still have more grease.
Wipe it on the cloth.
Where? Where's the cloth? Need the cloth!
Oh, is this the drive side?
Where's the cloth? Yeah.
Well, let's just compare the new Polaris Hollowtech II bottom bracket with the old. Check it out. I mean, it's just much more beautiful, isn't it? And it's quite different because I've got the spindle attached to this crank, whereas with the square taper, the crank was unattached. So yeah, it's a bit different. This is a 2-piece crank, whereas before I had a 3-piece crank, I guess you could call it. And yeah, I'm gonna just have to make sure that I've got my limits set correctly on my front derailleur, because I don't want my chain coming off and scratching up this beaut shiny new piece of kit. All right, there's the new one. Here's the old one. Bit different, always feels like it doesn't suit the bike, but shall be good. I just slotted this in. It's got paint all over it, so it's really nicely protected, whereas this one here, not very well protected, although it is all painted, but rust can deposit if you don't keep it clean. There's the square taper component,